Next on the news, a college athlete decides to take a different path, one that ended in a vocation.
She's a track star turned religious sister. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll tell you all about Sister Veronica May coming up.
After almost 5 months in the NICU, a Catholic hospital finally sends a preemie home. St. Patrick's unveils one of its biggest art pieces yet, the mural, a tribute to the Manhattan Cathedral's roots. Plus, a mother's reunion with her daughters that was almost 50 years in the making. She prayed for God to find them, and now she's counting her blessings. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Pope Leo XIV is sending a message to men and women religious. Remain rooted in your charism, but also stay alert to the signs of the times. One soon-to-be nun will have no problem keeping up with that advice because her journey to her vocation put her on an interesting track. Currents News' Katie Vasquez has her story from Bell Harbor.
And here she is with her grandma, who I know is just smiling down from heaven.
Patricia and John Gallagher couldn't be more proud of their daughter, Jacqueline.
And here's her baptism.
The parents of 9 say it's obvious how happy she is after taking her first vows as Sister Veronica May.
She's just beaming.
And she's
really
happy as can be. And it is it's a marriage to Jesus.
The Bell Harbor family attended Mass at St. Francis de Sales Church, prayed the rosary, and went to confession.
As a father, I have to, if I want my children to be faithful, then I got to try to be faithful.
It was during one of those moments of prayer around the age of 10 that Sister Veronica heard the call.
I just remember repeating to the Lord, Lord, I'll do whatever you want. Anything you want, I'll do it. And just repeating it over and over. And the Lord responded, I didn't hear an audible voice, but there was a response in me that said, not yet.
But she ran from her vocation, literally. Sister Veronica went to St. John's University and was a middle distance runner on the Queen's School's track team while studying to become a pediatrician. Then she visited the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia in Nashville, and her plans stopped in their tracks.
And it wasn't like a fireworks or a flash of lightning. It was a deep interior knowledge of I belong here and I'm called here.
Her parents hope she can be an example to other young people.
If they're following God's will, I really, really believe that they belong to Him first.
And Sister Veronica thinks if she can be an inspiration to others, that's up to the Lord.
If that's the Lord's will and working through me, please, all for His glory. Young people are still being called. But there's a lot bombarding, I experienced it myself. There's a lot bombarding that can crowd out the voice of God.
Sister Veronica professes her final vows in about 4 years. In Bell Harbor, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
I love that story. Sister Veronica is in good company, people who have given their lives in service to God and others. And Thursday night is our chance to give back to them. SOAR, or Support Our Aging Religious, is having a big fundraiser in Manhattan to help Catholic religious congregations throughout the U.S. care for their aging members. I have the honor of emceeing this event and can't wait to get the fundraising started. But you can help right now from home. To make a donation, just head to soar-usa.org/donate. The tablet newspaper has a story about some other Catholic leaders. If you pick up this week's paper, you'll learn all about the 10 new principals in the Diocese of Brooklyn Catholic schools and academies. The newspaper sat down with each one of them to find out their goals and strategies for the new school year. From chess to 3D printers, each principal has innovative ideas to keep Catholic schools competitive. Also in the paper, the story of pro-life supporters in Brooklyn who stood their ground on the National Day of Remembrance for Aborted Children. The pro-lifers prayed the rosary outside of a Planned Parenthood over the weekend as pro-abortion demonstrators taunted them. So be sure to pick up the paper at your local church. You can also support the tablet and Catholic journalism by becoming a member. You can do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. A Catholic hospital is celebrating one preemie's successful fight for life. The NICU team at Mercy Hospital on Long Island cheering on Trinity Alexandria Rose Taylor as she was finally discharged Wednesday after nearly 5 months. The micro preemie was born on April 24th at just 26 weeks gestation. Look at her. She weighed only 1 pound, 14 ounces. Well, after 146 days of fighting for her life, she's now home at a healthy 11 pounds, 8.5 ounces. And her mother says it's all thanks to the hardworking medical team at Mercy.
We're forever thankful, grateful, to this crew. When she was born, we weren't even sure she was gonna make it past the first 2 weeks, and she did. And here we are 146 days later, and we're going home. I'm forever grateful for Dr. Hannum, Dr. D, all of the doctors in the NICU, and the nurses. There's literally no words that can ever explain the love I have for these nurses.
I have chills. Trinity's send-off also included her favorite song, Hakuna Matata from The Lion King, which was played daily by her bedside. The funeral arrangements for a Catholic couple murdered in their Queens home have now been released. Police say Frank and Maureen Olton were tortured for hours before a man killed them and set fire to their Belrose home. The loss of the longtime St. Gregory the Great parishioners is devastating to the community. The Oltons' funeral mass will be this Saturday, September 20th at 10:45 a.m. at St. Gregory the Great Church. That's at 242-20 88th Avenue in Belrose. Currents News will have full coverage. On Thursday, St. Patrick's Cathedral unveiled its largest ever commissioned permanent artwork.
You were great to work with, all right?
The piece by American artist Adam Svijanovich is 25 feet high and spans 3 walls of the Manhattan Cathedral's entrance vestibule. It depicts historic and contemporary figures honoring the apparition at Knock, a vision witnessed by more than a dozen townspeople in Ireland in 1879, the year St. Patrick's Cathedral was consecrated. The mural, which is a tribute to the Irish immigrants who helped build the Archdiocese of New York and St. Patrick's, will be dedicated this Sunday. Finally tonight, a Chilean mom is counting her blessings. After 4.5 decades apart, she has finally reunited with her twin daughters who were stolen from her. Currents News' Jenna McDermott has more on that tearful reunion.
There were no words needed for this hug that had to wait over 45 years. It is the cry of a mother who for decades feared her twin daughters were lost forever. Their story begins in 1979 when Chile was under the dictatorship of General Augusto Pinochet, and a young, single 18-year-old mother gave birth to twin girls. Maria Veronica Soto says after a routine doctor's visit, a government clinic took her then 10-month-old babies from her, accusing her of not feeding them properly. Soto says the birth certificate was altered to say that no parent had shown up to register the babies. According to Chilean officials, from 1973 to 1990, during the dictatorship, thousands of babies were stolen from their biological mothers and sold into adoption, mainly to foreign couples from the United States and Europe. In Chile, they're known as the Children of Silence. Maria Veronica Soto says she never lost hope of reuniting with her daughters. That's why, praying for a match, in 2020, she sent a genetic sample to a DNA bank in the United States designed to help connect children with their lost biological parents.
And I said, in this little envelope goes all my hopes of finding my girls. And so it was.
It took nearly 5 years, but finally, across the Atlantic, one of the twins' children decided to take a DNA test in Italy, the country where they were raised. The son of one of the twins sent her mother's DNA sample to the bank, and it was confirmed as a match that led to a long-distance phone call and this emotional reunion.
God heard me. So many times I asked the moon and the stars about my daughters, and they too asked, "Where's Mom?"
So many emotions, and very, very happy because we finally found our mother.
Even though she spent nearly half a century apart from her twin daughters, Soto considers herself blessed. There are many mothers, she said, who have yet to find their long-lost children, and others who died waiting for a reunion like hers that never materialized. Jenna McDermott, Currents News.
Wow, what a beautiful, happy ending. And that is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time. Anthony Pirelli's connection to this church goes back generations. And now he gives back to St. Rita's in Long Island City any way he can. But it took a tragedy to get him here.
I used to say sometimes God has to hit you right between the eyes with a 2x4 to get your attention.
How Anthony Pirelli makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.